never satisfied, always on the rise. Looking for a reason just to close my eyes. Man, I'm tired, I don't wanna try, but I gotta try. Who gon' get it if it isn't I? And I'm always high, I'm supposed to fly. Me, I'm full of life, I don't wanna die. I can't even lie, even when I try. Never pans out, I'm an honest guy. Hey, fully occupied, life might like a prison. Bars on top of bars, but I'm never drinking. Hey, can't let anything affect my way of thinking. Kept my circle small, and it keeps on shrinking. Keep my way too strong, everybody's sinking.
Hi and welcome to another session of Jeff the Master Barber. On this edition, I'm going to be doing a blowout or a taper, whatever you want to call it or how you call it in your city. The first step that I'm doing, I'm using the Baby Bliss, the trimmer. You could use whatever trimmer you prefer. Like I always say, I'm just showing you how I do it my way. I'm not saying you don't have to do it my way, but for the people that don't know how or whatever, this is the way that I do it. If you see something that I do that you don't do, then you want to try it and it works for you, then that's why I do this video. Or for the people that don't know how to cut hair at all, or and they never have a clue, at least I show them how I do it. This is the second step. I'm using the magic clip, level open, and I'm using the right corner just to get what I need to. Right now I'm using the whole blade and I'm using guard number 1, right? But I'm using, as you notice, like I'm using more the right corner of the clipper, right? The level is closed right there, guard number 1, right? And so yeah, now is half, no guard, half, and I'm still using the right corner of the blade just so I could, and then I'm closing it little by little. The level, I'm closing it little by little, and I'm passing it in that area right there. Then I close it completely. Then I'm passing it in that area right there, still using the right corner. The reason why I use the corner is just so it could take only a little bit what I need to. Then if I use the whole blade, is when it's flat. When it's a big part that I'm using. But if it's something minimal, then I use the corners. The corners, it helped me to just take only what I need to. And see, like right now I have a level open and using the corner, and I'm getting that part right there. See this level closed. Now I'm gonna use the Andy Shaver, the Plus Andy Shaver Pro Foil Plus. I like, definitely this is one of my favorite shaver, electric shaver. Lightweight, good gripping. The foil doesn't irritate the skin of my client. I'm using it, notice how I'm using it upside down, upside. That way I only use one corner. I'm using the detailer because I feel this blade is so much sharper than the Baby Bliss. And definitely I like the power of the Baby Bliss, but this one has power and the blade is a lot more versatile and more sharper. And as you can see, there's times they may not seems like is shaping it, but I don't worry because the way that I'm gonna get it a lot sharper is with my razor, my blade. With the blade, I will get it more sharper. The trimmer is just basically to shape up, especially when there's long hairs, to trim. It's basically to trim. And yeah. He has something in his hair. It was like a wax. So there's times when you have stuff in your hair, sometimes the blade, sometimes the trimmer doesn't cut the same. But yeah, the Baby Bliss definitely, it has it's nice to clean, you know, to get it real nice and tight. It's definitely nice, but the blade is not as much versatile as the detailer, my opinion. Everybody have their own opinion. This is I'm using the magic clip with the level open. It was open. Now I close it just a little bit, not completely, and I'm using the right corner of the clipper. And that's the way that we're gonna keep doing it. You know what I mean? Pass it left to right, right to left. Now I'm using guard number 1, right? Level semi-open, not completely open, but I'm still using more the right corner. You know, at times it seems like I'm using the whole blade, but then, you know, the whole clipper, but most of the time I'm using the right corner. See, I'm using the right corner. I'm holding the head of the client because he was tired, he was falling asleep in my chair. So sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't want to be mean and tell them, you know, get up. You know what I mean? So right now, no guards. This is level open, and I'm using the right corner. Notice how I'm standing right there. Now it's completely closed. Now I open the level, and then I'm using the right corner, passing it right there. Then that line that the Baby Bliss didn't do, they did. In order to take it out, it was with the same trimmer. Now I'm using this side so you can see how it looks to do a box out with the Baby Bliss, just in case. It's still it's kind of sharp, but especially this part right here, the Baby Bliss will not grab it the way that the detailer does. So that's why I went right away with the detailer behind the ear, because the blade is a lot sharper. And still went over one more time in the shape up with the detailer, because I feel like it gets sharper. In the back, I'm just gonna use the level close, no guards, with the magic clip. People would have asked right away, oh, how come you don't go with the Baby Bliss or the detailer? I will once I finish. When I'm about to finish, then the bottom, that's what I will use. But basically, the level you're gonna need is level close and then half. All right, like that's what we're going right now. Level. You so notice that I opened the level, and yes, I could have put on in a ponytail. Those braid, but sometimes when you mess up touching them too much to put them in on a ponytail, you could, you know, mess up his braid. So I just gotta do it with the hand, grab them 2x2, you know what I mean, like that, like I've been doing, and it's no problem with me, you know what I mean. Levels open, and what we're doing is just right away we're blending in, you know what I mean. I don't play around too much with the line. I go exactly. That's why I don't mind my lines to be perfect, the guiding lines, because eventually it's gonna go blend in. So right away, notice we're tackling that shadow right there. That's a little less than half, and there's gonna be times that I'm gonna close the level. Now I'm using the right corner, level completely open, and I'm gonna go a little higher right there and see how the blend in is coming. Boom, that brush it, use the baby brush. Recommend to you use the baby brush, or if you want to use a comb, but I like to use the baby brush. It's more it has the hair of the brush is more, it will brush better the hair that I just cut, especially when he got that wax in the hair. Sometimes it gets stuck in the skull, so the best way to get it off is with a baby brush. And then the hair of the baby brush is very soft, and the baby brush is not so big like a big brush, so you'll be able to get on those uncomfortable corners. I'm using the right corner, still level open. Then I'm using the Andy shaver, and notice once again the Andy shaver facing up. The reason why I'm using only one corner of the blade of the electric shaver blade. You see what I'm saying? You see it? That way, if I pass it, I'm not gonna go higher. It's not gonna make no lines. Now we have him laying rest, so that way he could you know, fall asleep there, whatever. I'm putting the cream, the shaving cream. The shaving cream that I'm putting is the Bone Pro. It's medicated. It's real cool. It really protects the skin. So when you pass the blade and it dries up, it won't irritate them. It will keep like a cool sensation. Smell like minty fresh, and it has aloe vera, so it definitely protects the skin. And when it dries, then it gets the ashes line. And right now I'm using the Black Widow razor holder, and definitely this razor holder with the Wilkinson blade, I recommend it. It's definitely I like the reason why I like the blade, the razor holder blade, is because it has the black. It's black. It doesn't get that dirty that much, and I like the way it's well balanced it. And notice how I'm using the comb, and the comb I'd rather use this small type, so that way it's lightweight, it's small. So when you need to scrape something, it just is grab it. Don't get a big comb, because it's not gonna grab it the same way. And use the small teeth of the comb to scrape, you know, instead of the brush. You know, some people, if you wanna, do it with the brush, keep doing it with the brush. But my preferred method when I'm, you know, doing a beard, when I'm shaping it, and I wanna scrape it, scrape those hair that I just shaved. Then I use the comb with the small teeth. Notice my gloves. People, they're gonna ask me why you cut those gloves. The reason is because I get hair splinter between my fingers, not on my tip of fingers, the tip of my fingers. No, that's not the problem. The problem is between my fingers. So, but the problem is that when I put the gloves, and if I would not cut the tip, I will not have the same grip with my implements, with my tools. So I notice that I'm switching the blade. The blade has double-edged sword, so you could switch it, so you could have more usage of the blade. And then I'm doing the eyebrow. Notice, you see the comb? You see how I use it to scrape? Watch, boom. And then always shave from top to bottom, and then bottom to top, so that way you won't irritate the skin of the client. But yeah, with the gloves being cut like that, I have a better grip of my tools, and yet it covers between my fingers. So I have a best of both world. I feel it's been working to me like that perfectly. You know, if you like to keep yours normal, it's all good. It's whatever make you feel comfortable. This is what make me feel comfortable. People are gonna say, "Oh yeah, but you're not being safe or whatever." This barber still they cut without gloves. A lot of them. I used to be one of them. But the thing is that I still get hair splinter, and that's the only reason why I wear them. If it wasn't for that, I would not wear them at all. I like to cut hair barehanded, no with gloves. But because it's happening, then I have to find myself wearing it. And in order to still have the same grip and feel good with my implements in my hand is by cutting the tip of the gloves. That's why I do it. Notice. Right now, it's starting to dry. The cream is starting to dry a little bit, so you're gonna see the little ashes. Sometimes some clients have dry skin, but in this case, I know for a fact that it's the cream. Once it dry and you put a brand new blade, and you pass it many times and over, is gonna cause the ashy line, you know what I mean? And I like to do that because that way give me let me know that I already passed it there. See, right here I didn't pass the trimmer, even though I could, but because I didn't have my trimmer zero gap, it would irritate more the skin of his skin. So what I did instead, I have an eye. I know how exactly the same way that I'm gonna pass the trimmer is the same way that I'm gonna pass it with the blade. So I already have an eye for it. So basically, you see, I shave from top to bottom first, you know, and stay where the line is already. And I cut his hair last week before he got his braids done, and he just came back again after he got it done. So I'm just basically going over what I already did a week ago. And so here is the same thing. Use the each corner of the blade. The blade has two corners on each side. Use those little corners to kind of be like the point of a pencil or of a pen, and you're gonna draw with that. You know what I mean? But yeah, see right here, we're gonna make it like that. We're gonna make it curvy right there. Everything that I'm doing is basic on what the client asked me to do. The mustache always what I do. I put a little bit of water or a little bit more shaving cream, all right, and I put a brand new. I don't care if the blade was still new, I still put a brand new blade. By doing that and putting water or putting more shaving gel, is gonna make more comfortable experience, and it's not gonna pull the hair so hard, especially in the mustache. In that area, that's the hardest, stronger hair right there. All right, so I always advise you to, you know, put a brand new blade, stretch the skin, wet the skin. All right, and then right here he told me, could you lower the beard with a half? And I'm like, sure. So right now we're passing the magic clip, level open. right, and brush it, right, and you're gonna see excuse me excuse me, we right now, and then in the mustache, the half it was not grabbing, so I close the level just a little bit until it's grabbing, right, and then I brush it with the baby brush, and then in that area right there, keep passing in that area right there, not a big science, just pass it normal, brush it, see. And then now I put a brand new blade, and now that the cream is dry, notice the ashes, they're gonna come really nice, those ashy lines, watch, and it's gonna give the shape that you need, you know what I mean. Then it's gonna start making real sharp. Those are the details. The little details make the big difference on the haircut. Whatever energy you put, whatever amount of energy or how you make it with that desire to make it look sharp, is eventually is gonna show up. It's gonna, the more consistency, the more details, the more you put that into your work, it's gonna show up. You're gonna be able to see it. And so yeah, this is, once you keep passing, once the cream is dry and you put a brand new blade, or the blade is still sharp, and you pass it over one more time, you're gonna get those ashy lines. And those ashy lines, I like to keep them because it let me know that I already passed it there. I use it as a defense lines. Let me know that my lines is very crispy. Then when it's done, I put aftershave and I take it off. I'm not gonna leave them like that. But when I'm working, I'll make sure I pass it, I know that it's sharp right there. See, I could get it sharper. And by those ashy lines, not that I'm doing it in purpose to get those ashy lines, but when I'm passing the blade, I'm just basically, you know what I mean, right now going over again, make sure that everything is on point, that every single corner is on point right here. I want them more sharper right there. There we go. So we pass it more sharper there. You see what I'm saying? Right there. And there we go. Use the corner of the blade. Notice that my left hand, my thumb is always stretching the skin, so the skin doesn't get, wrinkled and nothing like that. So it stay real nice and tight, the skin. Now in the back, where we didn't pass the number one, the baby bliss, I'm gonna pass the razor. Why? Because before that we passed the electric shaver. So right there, this is him before the haircut, or before the blowout or the taper, and this is how he looks. All right, and the braids, they're fresh, but it makes a big difference when you do a taper or a blowout, whatever if you have another way that you like to say differently than me, leave it in the comment. Thank you for your time, thank you for your support, by the way. But yeah, this is him before, and I'm gonna show you how it looks after. This is how he looks after. Don't worry about those hair. Right after, I will brush it off. I'm just showing you basically the basic, you know what I mean, just the way I do it. Eventually I put aftershave, I put a little talc, I put the, you know what I mean, just dust them up and get them fresh, you know what I mean. And this is it, how he looks. He was real tired. He was like, please don't put on the YouTube if I look too sleepy. And I'm like, nah, it's okay, man, you were tired. Yeah, thank you again. I appreciate you guys. You can follow me at Jeff the Master Barber. Peace.